Hey, what's up guys, it's Fox, and today I'm going to show you guys how to make Applejack from My Little Pony. And this is what the finished result is going to look like, but I'm going to show you guys how to do it step by step. So first layer we're going to make is the face, and we're going to use a circle for the face. So go ahead, size it down to about, I don't know, let's say that size. It doesn't have to be very big for now, but we'll go back in and resize it. So you're gonna want to make it an orange color for the face. I mean, it's up to you what shade of orange you want to use. I like this color. For the second layer, we're gonna go ahead and make the ears. Well, one ear. So you're gonna want to choose, it's the tongue shape emblem, and then you're gonna go into freescale and kind of play around with the width of the ear and get it to a point where you think it's going to be okay, not too pointy, not too skinny. It'll look like a normal ear, not just like a weird freak elf ear. We can go ahead and start on the hair. So for that, I use the main shape. What you're going to want to do is flip it, so that way it's going the other way, and resize it down to, well, I don't know, let's say that size, about, so that the ends of the hair aren't outside of the box, so it doesn't cut it out. And then what you're going to want to do is make sure that the ear is the top layer for now, or the third layer, and the face is the first layer. So that way you can put the hair in between, so it'll look like its hair is brushed against its ear, its pony ear. So, and then go ahead and change the hair color to a yellow. It's up to you what yellow you want to use. I'm going to use this lighter yellow though. It looks pretty. And there we go. Okay. And then copy and paste it, make another layer, and then resize it down to a point where it matches where the ends of the other shape is. So something like that, so that it doesn't look like it's all just its own individual strands and it just blends together. And then copy and paste for the last one, and you'll get something like that. And then we're gonna go ahead and make the eye. So for that, again, go into the shapes and then choose the circle shape. And then what I do is I go into freescale and I make it sort of like an oval shape, something like that. And you can, you know, make it skinnier, wider, or however you want to do it. I'm just going to make it something like that. And then I just copy and paste it over. Choose your eye color. So I'm going to make mine green. You're just going to resize it down. Well, I'm going to do it to that size, but you can resize it down to whatever size you want to make it. Then copy and paste the green layer, make another layer, and then make that one black and resize it down so that way you can see, you know, the color part of the eye. So there's your first eye. And then I also like to add accents onto the eyes as well, little highlights. So for that, go into tools. I like to use a circle for the highlights, and then just resize them down to little like tiny dots. Whatever works best for you. I just really like the whole circle highlight thing. I think it looks the cutest. So I just like to copy and paste what I already made. That way it makes it easier. I don't have to worry about making the shapes all the same size and everything. So this is where you're going to have to resize some things and move around some stuff, because it's not all going to be symmetrical, or if you're me, then it's not going to be, but you might have it down okay. Eyes aren't supposed to be that close together. So take that layer and then move it down all the way underneath the hair. That way it'll be as if it's covering the eye. So copy and then paste it onto a new layer, and then like the other circle, just move it over and then get it to where it looks like it's just about lined up with the other side. Copy and paste everything over. And then you might have to, on this one I didn't have to, but on my very first one I made, I had to do all of the opposite eyes underneath the hair. So you might have to do that. That way it's not overlapping and it doesn't look all weird. And then add on the highlights and everything. So all I do is basically just copy and paste everything. That way I don't have to resize it down. It makes it a lot easier for you if you want to make something really fast. So go ahead and add the mouth and the nose and all that good stuff. So what I use for the nose part is the curved line. And then just flip it around so that it's facing that way, and then resize it down to about that size. And then we're gonna choose either, you can choose a lighter orange or a lighter color or a darker color. I'm gonna go ahead and go with that one, and you can always change the opacity on it as well. That way, if you do choose, let's say, a darker color like mine, it won't stand out as much as a lighter color would. So get it to a point where you think it's visible enough, but it doesn't stand out so much. And then we'll go ahead and make the nostrils. So for that, choose the circle shape again and resize it down to a really, really tiny, tiny, tiny circle. And then choose the same color that you did for the nose. Then you can change the opacity on it as well. Obviously this one is tiny, so you can barely even see it. So I'm not really gonna mess around with the opacity all that much. And then copy and paste it over, and then we will make the mouth. And for that, I'm gonna use the quarter circle. And same thing, so just flip it around. And for this one, I'm gonna use the freescale because I don't like the shape to be as thick as it is. I like it to kind of match in with the thickness and the size of the other shapes going on with the nose and everything else. So get it to a point where it matches in with all the other shapes. So I think that looks pretty good. So once you're done with that, we will go into making the detail for the ears. So make it, what shape was it? I'll go in there again and show you guys. So it is called the flag no wind shape. Flip it around so that the wider part of the shape is towards the bottom of the ear. You can go in there freescale, make it skinnier and not as awkward shaped as it is. Make it something like that. Sure, why not? And go back in there and choose the color that you want it to be. And I'm just going to change the opacity on it because that's a little bit too standoutish for me. So something like that. We will add more hair to it. So go back in there and choose the main shape. This one's going to be the ponytail that it has. And then you're going to want to move the layer down towards the bottom. So it has to be behind the face layer. And as you can see, it looks like it actually has a ponytail. And then go back in there and change the color of the hair. That way it matches the bangs. And you can mess around with the size too. It doesn't have to be the same size as mine. I'm just lazy and I'm just going to leave it the way it is. I'm not going to mess around with it too much. We will add the neck. That way you guys can see kind of the difference for the accents of the hair once I get to that part. On this one, you're going to want to change it to the color that you made your face layer. So once you have that done, then you're going to want to move it down underneath the face layer. And you can do it underneath the hair layer too. It's just you have to move your hair layer around and move your neck layer around too. So it's up to you if you have a preference on how you want it to look or whatever you want. So I'm just going to leave it like that though. Then we will add the face detail. And something that I like to do on mine, go ahead and copy the face layer that you have and then paste it. And then what I like to do is go in there and make another face layer, but make it just like one shade darker than the original color is, and then move it down underneath the face layer that we're going to use. And this kind of adds like an accent detail thing that, you know, makes it so that the face is separate than the neck, so it doesn't look like all one whole like shape thing going on. I don't like how it looks when it's all blended in together because I don't know. I don't like it how it looks. But what I do is I just size it down so that way it's only the neck and chin part that's distinguished from each other. So it doesn't, you know, if you make it too big, it's going to look weird. So just size it down and then bring it down below the chin part and neck part. And then as you can see it right there. And you can change the opacity on it too. That way it doesn't stand out too much, but you can tell obviously that it's there. So something like that. And then you can always mess around with the size and everything too. We can add the accents on the hair. So I'm just going to copy and paste the ones that I already have made. The accents and details on the hairs, on this one I'm going to use sort of like a golden yellow color rather than, you know, the light yellow or the bright yellow. And then size it down to where both of the ends touch the other parts of the hair, so just like that. And then I like to just change the opacity on here, that way it doesn't stand out a lot. It just, you can barely tell. That's how I like to do mine. And then you're gonna go ahead and make another layer and size it down. I'm gonna make 3 different highlights on this one. So if you have trouble seeing it, I mean, you can always make it back to 100 for the opacity and then change the opacity once you find a place where it fits okay. And then copy and paste for the last layer, and you're going to bring it, I'll show you guys. So there's my 3rd layer, and you're just going to resize it back up to, let's say there. And then just change the opacity on it. So something like that. I mean, you guys can barely see the little details, but it does make the difference, I think. And then paste that. And then for this one, again, choose the golden color for it. And then you're going to have to bring that one down to the bottom layer as well. That way it can be behind the face. So I'm going to put it there. And then just, you can mess around with this one. I mean, it doesn't really matter just as long as it fits in behind the face and everything. And then same thing with the other ones, just change the opacity around a little bit and make sure that it blends in pretty nice. And we will add the eyelashes. For those, I just use a simple shape, the quarter circle, so that way you don't have to worry about having the eyelashes all crazy like and super awesome. This is just kind of the basic way to make them. And you're going to want to put that layer underneath the eyes, so put it right there. You can make them, I mean, you can make them bigger if you want the eyelashes to be bigger, longer, shorter, whatever you want to do. So I'm just going to copy and paste. Go, go, go forever. I wish you could like jump to a certain layer. That'd be awesome, because then I wouldn't have to like go through all the single layers. And then sometimes I forget too to stop. I'm like, wait, that's past the layer that I want it to be. And then copy and paste for the last one. And then for the hat, we will use the circle shape. Yay, circle shape again. We're going to make it a brown color. So, I mean, if you don't like the browns that they have there, because I don't like this brown. I don't like either of these browns. They're kind of ugly. I'm going to go into the mixer. And I'm going to make it, I don't know, a sort of lighter brownish. Sure, something like that. And then resize it down. And then what I do is I just make it more of an oval shape. That way it's not just a sombrero looking thing. And you're going to want to move that layer all the way down to the bottom behind everything. So it's going to be the very bottom layer. Layer number 1. And yeah, if you wanted to resize the hat or make it whatever, you can. And I think that leaves you with just one layer to kind of do whatever you want. So I guess if you wanted to add something else on there, then you can. But for me right now, this is looking about done. So go ahead and save it. But this is just the comparison between the two. So this was the first one I made. And then this one was the one that I just made right now. So you can see that it's pretty similar. So, I mean, the steps either way are going to get you to some form of the one that I just made. If you guys have any questions about the emblem, or if you guys want me to upload different ones, then just let me know down in the comment box below. But you can like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And thanks for watching, and stay awesome. Yeah, I don't know. I'm weird. Yeah, I can rock this shit.